That's right, Anna. It does feel like there's a sense of disbelief here in Qatar at what's happened today, and a sense that the diplomatic efforts that were being held here between Israel and Hamas really have been blown apart by this extraordinary act by Israel, an attempt to target Hamas leadership in a country with which they have relations, a neutral country, a country that is hosting these critical ceasefire talks between both sides. And certainly the response from Qatar has been very strong indeed, referring to this as a treacherous act and a criminal act. It's hard to see how this won't do damage to US, Israel, Qatari relations. Qatar's foreign policy is focused on no conflict, de escalation, and a lack of military intervention. Well, this really does blow all that apart today. And I think the comments that were most striking was that from Caroline Levitt, the press secretary to Donald Trump, who said that Steve Witkoff, Donald Trump's envoy, got straight on the phone as soon as they'd been made aware of this by the US military to alert Qatar. Well, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, their spokesperson today said that the idea that they were given any forewarning is just absolute rubbish, that they were alerted by this US official, which we know to be Steve Witkoff, while explosions were happening and were taking place here in Doha. And I've heard from people here today who say they just cannot believe it, that it feels like such a violation of a country that prides itself in its safety, that around 10 explosions were heard here in the middle of the afternoon in a residential area. And it really does feel like a line has been crossed, that any sort of diplomatic efforts and some sort of ceasefire breakthrough feels further away than ever. And of course, Israeli hostages and Palestinians in Gaza are left to suffer the consequences.